Homeless beautiful beings, welcome to Notes of Nara. My name is Naja Rashida, and may this message find you well and whole. Today's topic for Worthy: how we play the part in our own wounding. Self-betrayal. Self-betrayal is a real thing. And when we feel betrayed, or we are wounded by an external force from someone we trusted, whether that's a lover, friend, family, coworker, community, government, doesn't matter, okay? Doesn't really matter the source. We can all relate to this in a certain way, right? We can relate for sure of betrayal, but one hidden truth I find, and I have discovered on my own path, is that a lot of the time we forget to reflect on our role in our own wounding, our role in how we betray. We betray ourselves. We betray our own heart. We commit self-betrayal. Usually, I find with dishonest individuals that I've come across in my life, that crossed my path, someone who lies or someone who is dishonest with another, usually the first step with betrayal is that they have to betray themselves. They have to portray a part of themselves that they are, in order to lie to another, they have to lie to themselves first. And it's something that when you're doing the shadow work, you're doing your inner work, you're getting to know yourself, you're becoming more acquainted with the self, the ego, right? Your persona, your anima, your animus, your spirit, your aspects and archetypes of your consciousness. This is huge. We oftentimes are the makers of our own wounding. And, yes, I'm not saying to belittle or to dismiss people who wrong you or commit wrongdoing. But like I was saying, oftentimes liars, people who lie to others, right? It's a form of a false sense of control, because they are so afraid of the outcome not manifesting in their favor. They will often lie. They will often hide the truth. They'll distort the truth. They'll tell half the truth. They'll tell a white lie. But most of the time, in order to commit a lie, to create a lie, they first must betray the truth that is within themselves. They must betray the truth within the heart and in their own mind. They have to convince themselves that, and go against what is natural, which is honesty, which is truth, which is being trustworthy, trust, right? They have to go against that natural nature of being honest, and they have to lie to themselves first in order to manifest and commit to a lie that they're going to share to another. We do this to ourselves. Each and every one of us on our own paths have had a moment where we have betrayed our own thinking, our own feelings, our own tuition. We go against what is natural because we want a certain outcome. We want a certain outcome. It's a false sense of security. It's a false illusion of control that has an expiration date on it. A lie can only take you so far. A self-made lie can only take you so far. And people will lie themselves to the grave on their deathbed. People will lie to themselves for decades, right? That, this career, this path is meant for me. This is what I'm supposed to do. They lie to themselves. They will convince themselves that it's the truth, but their shadow self, the shadow part of our consciousness says, oh, really? You really believe that? Even in the word believe, there's a lie in there, right? We force ourselves to believe in something that is false because we want the control. We want a specific amount of outcome, but knowing that the outcome probably isn't going to pan out how we want it, it's going to delay the emotional kickback from the betrayal. To betray your own heart is to cause the most significant wound, because then everyone suffers around you. You choose to betray that truth, that calling within you. You turn your back away from what is real and what is authentic, and it becomes a layer. Each lie is a layer of illusion, and another layer of illusion, another layer of illusion, another layer of betrayal, another layer of betrayal, another layer of betrayal. Infidelity is a perfect example of this. We often will turn a blind eye to things that are the common phrase, red flag, right? We will betray ourselves knowing something is off in the connection, in the community, in the family, in a relationship, in the friendship. Knowing something's feeling off, we betray it because it hurts too much. The truth hurts, right? The truth hurts, but the truth is the ultimate liberator, but we run from it anyways. We try to stuff that all the way down, right? We say no when we should say yes. We say yes when we should say no. And eventually, someone's got to pay the Pied Piper. Something's got to give. And when you are betraying the truth of your own heart, when you are denying your love, the heart, the emotions, the feelings, right? I was watching a video and one content creator was saying how, it was a Carl Jung video. It was saying how the heart, the feelings are so powerful, it can override the mind. And I truly believe that. A lot of what human beings commit to and what we create and what we build is highly influenced behind the emotional tug, that force that pushes us to commit those acts, that pushes us to manifest those thoughts and those ideas into a real tangible reality. To betray your own heart is the deepest kind of wound, because it makes you, when you have to face the lie that you've made yourself believe, and then you're lying to yourself. It's one thing to be lied to because from something outside of yourself, right? And then the truth is revealed. You're like, oh my gosh, why didn't you tell me? How come you did this? It hurts, but that's one kind of betrayal. But the deepest kind of betrayal it rocks you to the core is when you deny yourself. You betray your own truth, knowing that it's not right. But yes, I was going to say this about infidelity. Oftentimes you're in a toxic relationship, or the ship is sinking, right? The relationship is sinking. And let's say communication has gone down. One party is completely withdrawn. Behaviors have changed. The flow has changed. You don't know where you stand, all this other stuff, but you just act like everything's peachy clean and everything's all right. Everything's good. Everything's Gucci. There's no issue, or you can sense it, but you try to overcompensate, right? And so that other partner goes out and they break the vow. They break the connection by going off into a third party or into another connection, betraying you, right? They betray you. But I often find, especially with hypersensitivity, that there are moments in my life where I denied a truth. I betrayed my own heart. Thus, match the frequency of someone who would have the capacity to tell a lie, to tell a fib, to not say the whole truth, to attract that into my path. Okay? And then they manifest this wounded part of myself that I've betrayed. They mirror back to me how I treated myself. Now, I'm not excusing. I'm not trying to victim blame. I'm not doing all that stuff. Just follow me here, right? Oftentimes with infidelity, with deep emotional betrayal from a friend, from someone deep, very close to you, very close, a parent, a sibling, best friend, lover, husband, wife, right? Companion. Oftentimes it's earth shattering, right? It knocks you to your core. But again, for hypersensitive folks out there, right? Intuitive. We all have this intuitive, this system naturally, organically built within our being that literally the truth is right in front of us, but we deny it. We deny our role in the heartbreak, right? There are moments in my life where, it was clear as day that things were going south. And I deny. Nope, that's not happening. Nope. I'm just going to ride with it. My intuition is like, okay, you can deny and betray the truth of your own heart all you want to. And boom, when everything, crap hit the fan, things imploded. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I had to hit pause. With all the hurt done to me from an outside or external force, an external experience, what was my role in this? Was I honest with my heart? Did I betray myself in some way? Because everything is reflecting everything that's within you back to you. Everything you give, if you overgive, you're going to see, you're going to meet someone who matches that frequency and will take. If you undergive, you don't give anything, you're going to meet someone eventually that will give, and then it's going to strike some form of guilt, something in you that's going to say, whoa, I need to hit pause, right? I need to really look at myself. Why am I giving so little? Why am I giving so much? And it's something that you're betraying. You're turning away from an organic truth inside you. I've done this so many times. Why is it I keep attracting, because you'll hear this, especially from many women and men, but mostly women, you hear, he's so unfaithful. Why do I keep attracting this type of person in my life, this type of friend group into my life? Sit down with yourself, close your mouth, close your eyes, and sit. There's much to say. Your heart has much to say. This summer I spent one of the months on discussing heart, right? And, and being in alignment of the heart, allowing the heart to lead you. And this is where I connect this with that. The heart will not lead you astray. It's your own fear that leads you, your heart, that leads you astray. Truly. I truly believe the heart is a very pure energy. And what distorts that energy is our own programming, trauma, fears, woundedness, all this, okay? But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to share with you, is just being aware of your role, my role, our role in our own wounding. A lot of the time, it's so easy to blame my mommy did this to me, my daddy did this to me, or my mommy didn't do that, my daddy didn't do that. And so those mommy-daddy issues manifest in your job choices, your financial standing, your bank account, your creativity, your relationships, your friendships, even your spiritual practice, your religions that you choose to practice, in your health. All of that can be affected by how much you betray your own truth inside you. Because once a truth is known, a truth is known. It's one thing to be completely ignorant of a truth, but once it's known, it can't be unknown. And this is for the self. This is not something external outside of you. No one can tell you your own truth. This is something you have to just discover and learn and experience with yourself. People can talk about their own truths. Like just right now, I can talk about all this to you. It could absolutely mean nothing. No, completely nothing. You have to experience it yourself, right? Like with spiritual awakenings are very, very, very personal. Yes, the group collective, the human collective can go through some shift and some awakening, yes. But what makes it that much more potent is when each individual is going through what they're going through, growing through what they're going through, right? But yes, self-betrayal is real. Question yourself when you feel wronged and you've been done wrong in any way. Yes, address the issue at hand. Like this person did this, I got caught up in this situation. But then you have to take a step back, sit down, and see your role in the experience. Because I am so sorry, it takes two to tango, right? Whether that's a boss or your employer and the employee, business partner and another business partner, a lover and a lover, best friend and a best friend, your parent and you and your child. Anytime that there's a conflict and you end up getting wounded more so than the other party, you got to sit with yourself as well. Because yes, you have to allow yourself to process and to mourn the experience, the conflict. But most importantly, you were there too. You were there too. You said yes to things. You said no to things when you should have said, you said yes when you should have said no. You said no when you should have said yes. You said go when you should have said stop. You said stop when you should have said go. Everyone plays a part in this beautiful, magnificent stage we call reality. Take accountability for this. And I say this with such confidence and with such firmness because I'm actively going through it. And I actively journal. Journaling is a very powerful thing to where you can literally map out your own behaviors and patterns if you journal a certain way, right? If you can chunk certain seasons in your life, right? Just by following the Gregorian calendar, you keep a journal for each and every season, only write in that journal for that season, and you do that for 5, 10, 15 years, you're going to see your own stuff. You're going to realize your own patterns. Oftentimes, when we are in a committed long-term relationship, that's also another way for deep spiritual awakenings. Partner, I think that's the the sacredness of monogamous marriages or polyamorous commitments, right? Polyamorous commitments or monogamous commitments, that's when your shadows trigger the most. That's when your behaviors, are bubbling up. I feel like it's even a quicker way to awakening and to becoming enlightened is when we have these relationships, right? Whether that's familial, polyamorous, monogamous, or celibate. Celibate, I feel like it's a very deep, it's a relationship between you and the sacred divine God source, okay? With the self. And with monogamy, with our friendships and with polyamory and with our family ties that we have, those are incredibly important and so powerful. Those connections are the spiritual teachers. You don't necessarily have to get on a ship and fly to India or go on this crazy excursion, spiritual retreat and spend thousands of dollars to go to Colorado or Hawaii. You can if you want to. If it's in your heart to do so, do it. But it's usually the people closest to us that are our greatest and most influential teachers. Truly. Not the Till Swans or the Satgurus or the Ram Dasses or what's his name? It's just, He's a Tibetan, German-based monk. He's online. And I mean, I love some of his philosophies for sure, but usually you can go within yourself, commit to yourself through celibacy, or commit yourself to monogamy, or commit yourself to open polyamorous relationships, or commit yourself to your family, right? Making, maybe making your family and your ancestral lineage more of your focus for your awakening, and to work through your shadow self. But it's all there to mirror back to us. And with self-betrayal, and how self-betrayal and worthiness, it's almost like when we deny, or when we have a low self-esteem, low and very low self-worth, we tend to betray ourselves in the worst ways. We will push our health aside, we'll push our finances aside, we'll push our sexual desires aside, we will push our creativity aside, we'll push our values and spiritual beliefs and personal commitments to ourselves aside, just to avoid the uncomfortable truth, the truths within us, the hidden truths within us, because we know it's there. We know it's there. We deny our own heart's desires, our own heart's true desires, and just for short-term gratification, usually. So again, I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not a licensed life coach. I'm not here, oh, look at me, I have all the answers. I will continue to say that, every so often, to keep myself humble, but also to just be honest and be true. Like, my experience is different from your experience, okay? We all have different approaches of how we deal with our shadow self, and how we move forward and how we process, but just don't. One more, I guess, thing I want to share here is, don't push your interrelationships, don't brush them off so easily. Every person that you cross paths with, whether that's for 20 minutes, 20 days, 2 years, 10 years, or 3 decades, or a whole lifetime, they are your teacher. They are your mirror. They are the guru for you. They are the ultimate reflection of what's going on inside you. And when you are doing enough integration, shadow integration with yourself, and you are attracting more and more broken people, when you're solid within your integration, that is when you're able to identify what's broken within and without, right? Within yourself and what's outside of yourself. It's very difficult for broken people to realize that they're broken. And it's all perspective too. I think in how we perceive ourselves, because we truly are already whole. It's the illusions that it masks us into believing that we're broken, fragmented people, that we are the experiences that happen to us. And that is an illusion within itself. I'm not saying we should deny the feelings and our mindset, right? And how that's influenced by said experiences. I'm just saying, be aware of how you perceive yourself. I am whole. You are whole. That's why I always say wholeness, because I'm addressing what is there, what is here with us. Wholeness. We are complete already. It is the illusions that we get caught up in, that where we betray ourselves. We just slip into that behavior of denying our own truths, and then we wonder why things hurt so much. Are you being honest with yourself? Are you being honest with your fuck ups? Are you being honest about your mindset? Are you being honest about your integrity? Are you being honest about your feelings? Are you being honest about your past? Are you being honest about your the present moment? You know? And so that's that. That's as far as I'm having the energy for today. So may this message find you, however you are. And just remember, you are whole and you are complete. It's just you have to sit with yourself and ask, what kind of illusions are you hanging on to? That's blocking your magic. That's blocking your vision. That is wounding you. Thank you.